Oh, are we not doing an intro? I guess we're not. Whoops, pressed the wrong button. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Artag Rise time. What the hell am I supposed to be working on? What is on our today's list? I think I wanted to start with some tiles, some basic stuff, some decoratives. Right. Okay. See if we can put something together. I think 128 by 128 tiles are actually perfect for background. I'm gonna see about making maybe some some tiles for dirt, new auto tile for dirt. I think that might be useful. Alrighty, let's make some paneling, shall we? Nice. Okay, now we have technically started some sort of a panel here. So I think for this one, we'd want to do something just a bit additional. Let's try this. Mm-hmm. Cool. Okay, so that's the panel. It's looking kind of interesting. Maybe we can tone down the brightness here. There we go. Magical Studio. Good day. Yeah, nice. Yeah, this looks pretty cool. Let's do this. Let's make a couple of variations of this. We're gonna do image, trim to image size. Beautiful. And then we're gonna do good day to you 2. Well, good day to you 3. Let's resize the canvas. 256 by 256. Beautiful. I guess we can just duplicate it. Mm-hmm. Now, variations. Let's get some rust. Rusty, dusty stuff. Get the texture. Let's get it to multiply, actually. Cool. Mm-hmm. Okay, probably want to get more variations. Let's do that. So we're gonna do resized canvas. Let's do width 512 from the left. There we go. Ooh. God damn. That looks nice. So I have variation of these tiles. Could we do something with these in-between bits? Like have them not be super affected? Yeah, doesn't look too good. Okay. I'd say we can work with this. Shall we make like an auto tile? Yeah, let's make an auto tile. Okay, so we're gonna do image, resize canvas. How many tiles do we need? That is not gonna be enough. Unless we bypass interior tiles, which wouldn't be good. Hmm. You know what? I think that's fine for this. Let's save this. Our tag rise, assets, tiles. Okay. Detent panels. Let's export. PNG. Our tag rise, engine, tile sprites, detent panels. All right. Let's go to here, blank level. Now, we have the ability to set up some background layers here. Why did you choose Godot over Unity? I never tried Unity, so it's kind of like the first thing that fell on my lap. And I think when I was searching for a 3D engine, Godot being completely free, no royalties, no like part of revenue, was a really appealing thing to me. So yeah, that worked out. No extra costs to worry about. Okay, so we got this tile map, and it looks like we don't. Oh god, these are really old tiles. We don't store the tiles in here. Can Godot make multiplayer games? Of course. It comes in with a fully comprehensive multiplayer pipeline. Let's give it a tile map. Background. We're gonna quick load. What do we got? Background tiles 128. Perfect. That's exactly where we want to load it. Let's edit the tile set. Atlas tile. There we go. Nice. And then we're just going to do some probability painting. So this tile is 50 times more likely to appear. And the rest of them can just be random. And now when we do this, maybe 50 is too much. Let's do like 20. Yeah, there we go. Hmm. Do you think Godot can beat Unity? I mean, to be honest, it's only a matter of time when the people who have joined Godot have actually are given enough time to produce some quality content. So, yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of engines should very very carefully reevaluate their values and business practices. To be honest, simply because of how much Godot offers right out of the box. You know what? We can actually combine these two tiles together. Oh, that's interesting. It doesn't want to paint over everything. No probability. Scattering. What if I has a chance of painting nothing? Oh yeah, I think I selected like an empty block somewhere over there. Nice. You know, these two tiles actually make up for a pretty interesting combination. Can Godot make multiplayer games for proximity voice chat? Yeah, of course. It's got audio streaming, voice streaming. So you can make all the Lethal Company clones you want. Okay, now this is looking good. It's a nice looking tile. Now, what else? I think if we do a canvas modulate, and I suppose we can give it a few lights. Actually, what does this look like right now? Well, that's actually looking a lot better than the blank gray. And the tile looks okay too. Nice. Oh yeah, we don't have level transition because I think we obscured it. Screen effects, UI. Yeah, we did. Slide card transition. Screen bend. Okay. Can't believe I used to do a nested scene for the screen bend. Oh, this is not what I want. Nice. Okay. Okay, there's the transition. That's good. We're gonna have to do some more work on the transition, but that's fine. Which tutorial should I see to make good multiplayer game? I don't think there's one tutorial that is to rule them all, so to speak. Just watch a bunch of tutorials, learn what you need to learn, and that's it. There's no shortcut to writing good code, except for writing bad code, realizing it's bad, and then correcting it to make it good. Do I focus on mechanics in the stream? Well, I try to evenly pad it around. Since it's just the beginning, I'm just warming up. I think I'm just gonna do a few tiles, few assets, maybe make some brushes, and then go from there. What's on my list? Revamp saw cannon sprite. Well, that's sprite work. Whoop. Oh yeah, we have a bug where if we're playing single player, the game still waits for the second player to die before giving us the death screen. So we're gonna have to deal with that, fix that up as well. That's not very friendly. Okay. What do we try here? Let's take a look at that code actually. I think we moved it to the master node, which is a singleton. Runs on top of our game. Master object. Sure. Clear AI array. Kill all players. Okay, so if player count more than 0, and this counts how many players there are, it says if player count is equals to hurt players. This is not correct. We actually shouldn't be checking for how many players there are. We should be checking for if the amount of hurt players is the amount of co-op players. If as many hurt players as co-op live players. There we go. I think that should fix it. Nice and simple little adjustment. Nice. There we go. Okay, that's more responsive. Beautiful. I had a talk with a gentleman who will potentially be doing sound effects for this project last week. We've set up a week-long tester, so to speak. They're gonna put together, and by they I mean there's actually two buddies who do sound effects together, so both will get their credit. They are going to look into putting together some sound effects as a tester, see if they work out, and yeah, go from there. So now filling with graphics. Initially you didn't plan to describe the design document. Well, design document for something like this is fairly straightforward, and this is kind of an experimental project. Although it's been going for so many years, being redone from scratch over and over again. But yeah, Something like this doesn't really need a design document because it's fairly straightforward. It's just taking what we liked from Super Meat Boy and just building on top of it. And a lot of it is pretty experimental as well. My Trello board works as a design document of a sorts. Um, that's so far that's enough. Okay, cool. We had the bug fixes. What do we have? Can't reload scene. I don't think that's a problem anymore. Allow players to drop in the game. Path 2 saw based. Path 2D based saw blade trails populator. I think that's done. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's actually done. Are you planning on releasing this game? Yeah, of course. I mean, technically, the old version of this game is already on Steam. Just look up Artag Rise. But that version of the game was made in GameMaker Studio, and ugh, I'm just moving on from GameMaker Studio. That's why I'm working in Godot now. Okay. Revamp saw cannon sprite. Oh yeah, our saw cannon sprite looks kind of it blends too much. It needs to be more like yellow, orange, warning colors, because right now it's this, and it blends too much with everything. 64 by 64 pixels. Now the design idea isn't too bad, with this whole bracket being on the side. I just think the body could be a bit more defined. Let's try it. And then we know that it's facing to the right, and it's going to have a bracket, so we'll just maintain those concepts. No pun intended. Is it rotated? It is not. That's the default rotation. What about this? It is not. Cool. So it's a nice sideways thing. Oh, it would help if I wasn't painting on the background. Mm-hmm. Do you see a performance difference after switching to from GameMaker? There was a lot of features that I would have had to program myself in GameMaker. And those features, they probably cost some performance, but it seems to run pretty much the same. It's more, the feature set that attracted me to Godot, like the lighting system. Yeah, it's one of those cases where you can make a game that runs really well or really terrible in both Godot and GameMaker Studio. You know, if you don't do things the right way. So it's not as much the question of performance, but it's as much the question of approach. Hello, funny. Here's the unfunny. Oh boy, the fun time's over. Okay, Control U. Lighten that up. Okay, we want. Tell me, are vertical platformers in demand on Steam? I have no idea. Um, some people make games based on demand. Some people make games based on what they want to make. Um, I'm making a platformer because I thought it would be an interesting way to tell a story and have like a challenging type gameplay game. Outside of like Celestine, I'm not entirely aware of any narrative platformers, like heavily narrative platformers. I might want to pick a default brush. This one. Like even Super Meat Boy doesn't really lean into a story that much. It's kind of like, you know, your basic cookie cutter princess in another castle type deal. Hmm. Okay. Okay. Now what if I do this? And then add a transparency mask like that. And, you know what? Not only that, select this and I wonder if it's possible to do like a inner select expansion. Feather selection, border selection. I think that might be it. Yes, that's exactly what I want. Nice. All right. Okay. Hollow Knight isn't a rage platformer though. It's got a good story, but you know, it's not a rage platformer. There we go. And you know what? If that's the case, I don't need this to be multiply. This could just be normal. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then there's supposed to be an extra detail. I'm just going to save this real quick. Assets, sprites. This is saw cannon. And this is going to go into hazards. By the way, I realized that motor actually looks like a penis. I only realized it when I looked at it in the video on Twitter from afar, and I'm like, wait a minute, hold on a second. Um, Whoops. Cool. Perfect. Do you just hear a cat? No, you just probably heard a kid. Daycare center. Okay, so I'm gonna do this. I'm actually going to take a line, place it here. We're gonna give it. We're not gonna give it anything. I'm actually just gonna take a darker color, opacity, and then grow. Pop, pop, pop. Yes. Pop, pop, pop. Nice. Okay, that looks good. That looks good. This is gonna be a part of the body though. And now I'm gonna make another layer, and this is gonna be the element that moves across it. Like this. That's right. Mm-hmm. Okay. Can I make a game like Human Fall Flat in Godot? Can you make a game like that in Unity? If you can make it in Unity, you can make it in Godot. That is, that's something you should just know by this point. Hmm. Uh, we have not tried publishing on Steam and want to try this platform. Your main platform is Android? No, my main platform is Steam. I don't really do mobile games. Hey, this could work. Nice. Okay. Cool. So I think that's good. Let's extract. This is gonna go to. Can Godot get graphics like on the up? You can try it yourself. Godot gives you a massive amount of tools. It's all down to your skill. It doesn't matter if Godot can do graphics like only up. If you're a shit artist, you're not gonna get only up graphics, right? You're not even gonna get, anywhere near close. So I've seen people make amazing games in literally like OpenGL and C++ alone. I've seen people make 3D games in GameMaker Studio, which isn't oriented 3D development. It gives you very basic tools, but you have to build everything yourself. And I've seen people make some amazing 3D graphics, like you'd see in Unity and even like Unreal with things like volumetric fog and lighting and real-time shadows, but they had to put in the work to do it. So your question of can it do X graphics, can it do Y graphics is irrelevant. If you're a terrible 3D modeler, don't know how to texture and have no skill, it doesn't matter. Like you're not gonna make anything pretty even if you use Unreal Engine. It's all down to your skill, buddy. Godot Engine is definitely not going to be a bottleneck in that regard. Engine sprites. This is not a user interface. This is a hazard. And then we're going to go ahead and replace saw cannon base. And then this is saw cannon spring. There we go. Bracket. Be beautiful. Nice. Okay, so we're gonna take this. We're gonna set the texture to be nearest neighbor. So get those nice crispy edges. And let's take a look at this level now. If Godot is good game engine, why most people doesn't like it as much as Unity? Show me those most people. Because if your feed is filled with Unity developers, then you're gonna find Unity developers complaining that Godot isn't Unity. So no shit, it's not Unity, you know. It has its own development process. Like I've seen some dude complain that Godot doesn't have an add box button. That's a Unity thing, right? You have an add box in Unity. In Godot, you use a box node. You add it that way, right? Now, if you look at my feed, I follow a lot of Godot developers, and I see nothing but praise, right? It's like asking cats what they think about dogs. Asking ants what they think about anteaters. Whoa, big surprise, they don't like Godot. So, in the end, you just have to try it yourself. That's the only explanation, or the only like reliable source of feedback you have. Because I knew about Godot from a live stream. When I did a live stream a little while back, a long while back actually, somebody said, "Hey, check out Godot," and I was like, "Cool, okay, that's another option." I didn't give it a try because somebody recommended it, but eventually, Game Maker Studio decided to do some no-nos on their policy, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm looking for an alternative. Let's see what options they have. And then I remembered that Godot was being talked about. I gave it a try, and I liked it. That's all that matters. Like, I don't care that there's no large AAA games made with it. I don't care that there's, other people complaining they don't like it. I honestly don't care. All that matters to me is that it has the tools to satisfy my projects. Oh, well, that's a thing. Okay. So, I just need to double check something. I don't need this. Oh, playback. That's what I need. 44.1 spatial sound. Yeah, none of that nonsense. Cool. So the saw cannons look pretty good, actually. Now we can actually see these things in the background. That's a big plus. Let me try the other level. Which level? I think it's... Yeah, it's this one. So I couldn't see them here. There we go. Yeah, when 3 point something released, that's basically when it was recommended to me as well. Okay, I just noticed that the AI character is actually dying, and that's not good. It's not supposed to be dying. Okay, we have the hurt. No, we don't have the hurt. You know what? This is actually something that I should be doing here. Instead of setting a hurt variable to true, I should make a function called damage. And then we're going to do hurt true if AI is true, return. And then if it's not true, hurt becomes true. And now I need to locate every single thing that can damage the player, and instead of setting hurt to be true, we're going to make it call the damage function. Okay, let's do find in files, hurt, find. Okay, so we got what, 30 matches? Body.hurt equals true. Spikes. Right, so we do body.damage. That's it. So we just got to do this. And then now that it's a function, we'll have the ability to do other stuff when it gets hurt. If it's a variable, then we have to constantly track if the hurt state has changed. Which, in hindsight, you could do it with a getter setter, but I don't want to. It's easier with a function. That's a variable. That's when we... Ah, look at that. Hurt old. Checking if hurt has changed. There it is. Okay, so player hurt equals true. That's fine. Comparison, comparison, comparison. Old hurt, new hurt. Right. Hurt loop. Yeah, so all of that stuff I think could be moved to the hurt function. Hurt equals false. This is checking if it's been revived. Hurt players. Hurt plus equals 1. Okay, cool. That wasn't actually as bad. Where can I find your gums to play it? Some games are on retroactivegamers.com website. Some games are on Steam. You just have to look up Eisenstadt on Steam and should be able to find it. You can find it in the bottom left corner. Not all the links are live. Some of the prototypes are just kind of placeholders for future projects. But yeah, you can usually find some stuff. Sorry, games. Nah, don't worry about it. Cool. That should work now, I think. Oh yeah. Let's take a look here. So, if hurt is true, this is a hurt loop though. Old hurt, new hurt. Player body, play hurt. We don't really have a hurt function. We were not going to need old hurt, however. We can just do this. So start playing the hurt animation, whatever the heck that is. Old hurt, it only has 3 mentions. And that's quite literally the definition, which we don't need anymore. And then this, which we don't need anymore. Okay. Perfect. The unfunny has left. Oh boy. I suppose who's left? The depressed? Cool. All right. Here we check if hurt is false. That's good. And cool. I think that should now prevent the AI from getting damaged, because that was a bit of a problem. Nice. Perfect. Okay. Technically, I do want to explain why the AI is not getting hurt. I'm going to place a shield around the character, because then it still doesn't get hurt, and it still gets... It still overlaps the all these elements. But at least the game explains, like goes through the trouble of explaining why the player doesn't get hurt. So let's do 128 by 128. That's good. Okay. I'm gonna do 128 pixels. Painting on the background. This is gonna be the AI shield. What protects the AI from getting completely annihilated. Now, I think I should be able to grab a gradient Nice black and white gradient. I'm going to give it a transparency mask and then paint on this transparency mask from the perfect middle. Right, we need a radial gradient. Sure. Except maybe more pushed. Yeah, sure. Let's export this. So engine, sprites, hazards, not a hazard. This would be player shield. Okay. That's good. And I suppose what we can do now, go to the player, sprite, sprite 2D, AI shield. Sure. That works. Lift that up just a bit. All right. I'm going to make this thing basically wiggle anytime the AI is taking damage. So if AI is true, what do we need to do here? We have a process function. Yeah, I suppose we could place it here. So AI shield. Actually, no. We have an AI process. AI player code. If AI or state replaying. Well, now. Maybe that's not where we handle it. Process AI player. No, it is being called from AI player code, so we can place it here. If AI is true, then what do? Well, we need to make the shield wiggle. So let's give the player a variable. Okay. Var AI shield wiggle time 0.0. Okay. We're gonna do plus equals 1 or 5 times delta. Then var AI shield wiggle is sine. Use the sine function. There we go. Okay, so next, okay. Delta has not been passed along into the AI code. That is fine. There we go. Okay, after the wiggle is produced, that's a value between -1 and +1. We're going to talk to the AI shield. Ooh, come on. There we go. Scale will be set to vector 2. And then default scale is 1 and 1. And then to this, we're going to add wiggle. And then from this, we're going to subtract wiggle. And it will alternate. So. And then this, we don't need. Oh, not going to run. Closing parenthesis. Okay, I pressed F6, which is going to run the player scene. That's not what we want. Come on now. There we go. All right, so that's the default wiggle. Now, I think we need to double this or triple this in speed, and we need to reduce it in amplitude. So sine produces -1, +1, multiplied by 0.2. Now it's -0.2, +0.2. Nice. Okay, that's good. Let's go 0.15, and then we're going to speed up the wiggle even further. Okay, That could work. Let's go further. Okay. Maybe 30. Okay. Next, we need to have a way of controlling this. So we're going to do AMT. So we have an amount variable. This is going to be multiplied by the amount, and the amount is going to be 0.0 in the beginning. Here, we use it, and then we're going to multiply by 0.95 to dissipate it back to 0. Anytime we are hurt, which is when we take damage, if it's an AI element, we're going to set it to 1.0, and that should be good. And then one more thing, if it's not AI, we're not supposed to be able to see the shield. So we're going to do here, shield visible equals if we are AI. Or, yes, if it's visible only if it's an AI character. Okay. There we go. And then you can see every time the character gets damaged. Whoops. There we go. There we go. So it still detects him getting damaged. That should be a good starting point. Maybe we can get the wiggle to be a bit more strong. And then faster. Okay. Nice. Okay. Next, we need to make it dissipate after some time. So if it takes damage, we need to make it reduce. Let's do mod scale. Mod scale. Let's say that the amount of regular scale is 0.7. 0.7. Mod scale is going to be 0.3, so the remainder multiplied by the amount. And then we're going to add that scale here. Okay. Cool. So this should make it so that the shield grows as well a little bit. Okay, there we go. Nice. Okay. So it works. Every time he takes damage, the shield grows. And then I need the shield to fade to transparency when it gets small enough. So what I can do is talk to modulate alpha and then set it to the amount. Okay, so the shield shouldn't be visible all the time. This is likely going to produce too fast of an effect. We want to delay it. Okay. So modulate alpha works. There we go. So you can see it stays there, but it only stays there for too short of a time. So modulate alpha takes a value between 0 and 1. Now I think if I take amount, multiply it by 3, then this is going to be 0 to 3, but I can clamp it So I can clamp the value between 0 and 1. So when this is 3 or 2 or anything above 1, it's going to be clamped to 1. And once it drops below 1, then it's going to start, well, working, so to speak. In this case, I might want to reduce the speed at which the wiggle amount dissipates. Okay. There we go. Okay, so it like dissipates over time. Nice. You know what? I also want to maybe dissipate the wiggle amount. Right now, wiggle amount is, You know what? Let's repeat this. Actually, no. I want the wiggle to dissipate long before it starts disappearing. So to do that, I could do this. I could multiply it by 3, but subtract 2. So now it's going to be the other side of this end, and I clamp it to 0 to 1. So now this starts out times 3. So instead of going from 1 to 0, it goes from 3 to 0. But we're going to subtract 2 from it, which means it will go from 1 to -2, and we'll clamp it between 0 and 1. So now it will first dissipate very quickly, and then it will disappear. Okay, that is interesting. Okay. There we go. Okay, that looks like it works. I'm dead. I'm not sure why the audio is a little choppy. That was me disconnecting the Oculus headset. Ooh. Okay, nice. So you know what? That works. At least now it's not like this awkward thing where the AI character seems to be going straight through the hazards, but nothing happens to him. We have an explanation for it. So, what do we got? Do we not have a thing for it? Revamp saw cannon, that's done. Allow player to drop into the game. Interactable that requires a particular player to interact with it and can switch which player is required to force players to switch roles. We haven't done that. That is going to be more for co-op players. But that's an interesting one because I was recently showcasing the intro level, which is supposed to be like the start with a bang for the early access level, and I noticed that it's gotten monotone too quickly. It's just the same thing doing over and over again. And the timing has to be really, really tight. If you're going to miss the timing, that it's not really It's not really helpful. So it's just kind of like, ugh. It's like three switches you gotta keep up before they turn themselves off. The three generators, and it's not really all that interesting. I feel like maybe we could expand the level with some doors and gates, and the player would have to switch them in order to get from one area to another. It might also be kind of fun um, if the gate for one player unlocks the passage, well, for one player, but also locks it for another, because then the two players have to coordinate what to do together. That might be kind of fun, actually. Okay, cool. So, I fixed up some stuff. That's good. Here's what I'm gonna do. Quick break, and I'm going to maybe work on some ground tiles. Let's see. Whoops. For spawn this one. We technically have a ground tile here. I don't know if it looks all that good, but I suppose we can give it another try, considering that we've learned a bunch. Cool. Oh yes, and there was also an issue with the generator trying to talk to something here and crashing, so we're gonna have to see what that is. Okay, be right back. And we're back. Cool. All right. Let's take a look at this level here. Let's figure out what's happening. I think it's that generator doing something. We're gonna bypass the cutscene. We'd have to find a way to keep track of these cutscenes so when the player can come back to this level, it doesn't start playing again. Yeah. Oh god. I don't know what's happening with the audio. I think one of my audio drivers is messed up or conflicting. Let's try that again. It's either that or I need to like disconnect and reconnect my sound card, the Steinberg sound card. It's an old one. It's been around a while. Okay. Let's take a look here. Oh, that works. Let's run this thing here. Skip. Oh, can I not skip? What the heck? Oh. My controllers have switched. Yeah, there we go. Also, I think that my regular jump doesn't produce a particle. The wall jumps do. Double check something. Okay, there we go. Invalid call, non-existent function, trigger on base node to the power indicator box. Okay, so this attempted to talk to power indicator box. I believe the power indicator box is this guy. And it does not have a trigger. Now, technically, it's not supposed to be triggering something. It's supposed to be powering something. And I think that's the issue. Set it to 1. Power indicator box. Let me double check this. Okay, power, new state, power targets. So power is what it receives, and the generator needs to send power. In hindsight, power kind of works like a toggle. You can power something on or off. Toggle. Yeah, there we go. Power, process power targets. So here it sends the on state on whether or not the generator itself is on. Cool, all right. Not entirely sure what happened. Maybe we used to have it on trigger, and now we have it on power. If anything, this is just going to be better for consistency. Actually, this thing is not supposed to be powering that. It's supposed to be powering this thing. Which in turns is powering this thing, which in turns is powering this thing. Cool. Right, so we're going to have to get this. That's the first switch. Oh, that's exactly what it's powering. Nice. This one is just here directly. And then this guy, same thing. It's going to be power indicator box. There we go. Let's give it a good old test-a-rooney. I'm thinking maybe I'll be able to depict the cutscenes using slides of cards. Nice. Oh man, I can't wait to hear the sounds for this. This is going to be awesome. You know what? The whole overheating indicator, that might actually be unnecessary. Or maybe it's just the fact that it starts half filled, third filled. I think that might be it. Oh, I think, yeah. Read the wrong scene. Can we close all tabs, please and thank you? Oh boy. Okay. Oh, there was actually a scene that didn't work. An earlier test scene. I'm gonna have to go through all these and see what's up. Some of the dependencies need to be updated. Some of the links have been broken because I've revamped the system. I believe we also went through triggers. Oh, we didn't. Okay, there's 64 triggers. So, technically, right now, when something triggers something else, that something else doesn't know what triggered it. If we want to be able to use multiple things to trigger something, and then have that something react in different ways, then it might be a good idea. Might be a good idea to send a reference to whatever triggered it for the sake of, well, having a reference to it and being able to differentiate. If there's 5 different switches and they all trigger this thing, being able to tell what triggered it, so you can tell which switch it was, could allow us to have the object react in different ways. Now, you see, if we're doing trigger and there's no dot, that means that this is the definition of the function. If we're doing trigger and it's dot trigger, I think we need to send self into it. Now, in hindsight, this should be fairly simple, but I am going to push to Git before then, just in case. Okay, fixed player AI player death, added AI shield, and changed saw cannon sprite. Added new tile. Cool. Give me 1 sec. Just gonna push this, and then we'll see how this works. All right, so let's do the dot trigger first, because if it's dot trigger, we know we need to send the reference to self. So we're gonna do replace in files, dot trigger send self. Okay, so we're gonna do replace. Yes, and then replace all. Okay, now we have replaced it on the files, which means there's a bunch of files that are new now on the hard drive. So we're gonna reload, and there we go. So that's dot trigger. Now, if we do find in files, we should not see a single one of these. That's good. Let's do replace in the file. So if we do trigger, which now only includes the definitions because dot trigger now has self in it, we can now make these contain a property which is like receiving. So dot trigger, well, not dot trigger, it's just going to be trigger, and then replace it with trigger origin. So the self that we're sending will be received as the origin. Reload. There we go. So if we go into plasma receptacle, what do we got? Laser mounted. Says trigger. It now has origin. It doesn't have to use it, but it does offer it. I think maybe having the ability to receive a second argument might be also good. As long as we're here, we might as well. So this idea is any trigger that has origin can also receive an argument that is null by default. Okay. Replace. Yep, and then reload. There we go. Now this is just a little extra thing. Because it's null by default, you don't have to provide it. So anything that triggers stuff, like switches, for example, we don't have to also have it send a value if it doesn't want to send a value. But by having the trigger accept an argument, we can have 3 switches and they send, let's say one switch sends left, another switch sends up, and then the third switch sends down as that second argument. And then the receiving object can just read that argument and say, okay, we've been triggered. What are we supposed to do? We're supposed to go once to the left, or once to the right, or once down. Now, we technically don't necessarily need to do that. We could just rely on the origin node and get its name, and then change the name of the switch, left, right, down. But, you know, more than one way to skin a cat. Cool. So that works. I think it should still be okay. Let me close this, close that, close everything here. That's a lot of scripts. There we go. Far Island. Okay, we don't need this search. Beautiful. All right, I think everything should still just work. I feel like there should be a little vertical oof. Hey. Okay, so it sees 2 of 5 switches. Oh, that's not good. Might have to fix that. So 2 of 5 switches. Oh, right, there's like more generators to the left. Okay, this one should be on. This one should be on. But now... Oh. Fascinating. Okay, so... Might have to fix this. When we interact with it, player notice sent. If switch on, we do flip true. Maybe we should prevent it from animating or doing anything if it's already busy playing an animation. Let's see here. Centered frame offset speed is playing. Okay, we can use this. So, if and animated sprite 2D is playing, return. Okay. Now, if the switch is on, we play the flip in reverse. And if it's off, we play the flip forward. Now this means there should be a signal. Update power target, switch becomes not switch. So this means that this doesn't actually work. Play in reverse does not seem to work. Custom speed from end. I think custom speed has to be negative. Plays the animation with the name. If custom speed is negative and from end is true, the animation is playing backwards. Okay, but what's the point? Negative 1.0, I think. Okay, I think that should do it. Should be all right. Or not. We are playing the wrong scene. Okay. Bop, 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 bop. Yay. I know that I can teleport with the mouse, but you know what? This is fun. Can't wait to, man, considering how much atmosphere just a few measly tiles and a little bit of lighting adds to the game, I cannot wait to get to the decorative stage for these levels and, you know, outfit the environment this way. Maybe we can do like a mini game for unlocking these generators too. Okay, there we go. Nice. Also, let's put some slip blocks here so we can't just like dive bomb it down here. And those locations, oh, that's the logo. Those locations shouldn't really be just random chunks of soil with that just so happen to have tiles on them. Okay. Slip blocks. Nice. Now, right, so this whole cutscene, honestly, it doesn't feel that impactful because these 2D characters are... They don't have the visual capacity to communicate these emotions effectively. They're kind of just plain, bland. So, something that I wanted to do for Child of Ether, which kind of suffers from the same issue, is to use little comic strips in order to depict characters with more emotional weight. And maybe I can employ the same sort of practice here. I don't want to repeat the same thing too many times, even though technically I do with things like the inventory system and the dialogue system and everything. But it might just look a little bit better. Okay, well, oh. There we go. Cool. This one's on. Oh boy. Okay. So that's... Okay, that's 2. And yet... There should be 3. This one's running. Okay, I think some of the links are messed up. Let's see. This guy targets... What? Targets switch 2. This guy targets switch 3. And switch 3 doesn't target anything. Cool. This is the light, or I guess power indicator. There we go. So that connects to this. And then this connects, or this powers the first switch. Cool. Knowing that there's 2 more, I think we're going to go here. This one doesn't trigger. It powers. Power indicator box. Cool. Right. So this level is kind of a... It's kind of a loosely cobbled together random set of challenges. We're gonna need a whole bunch of, like, background, colossal, larger-than-life type foliage or greenery or moss chunks. Jeez, can I get through there? Thank you. You know, we could actually use both labels. The X label for the button and the label of what this is gonna do, which is jumpstart. Also, I kind of feel like the shine should go with the camera on these things, slip blocks. Can we do negative? See what that looks like? It just seems a little awkward moving in the opposite direction. Yeah, that looks a little bit better, actually. Nice. Maybe a little fast. Okay, I didn't switch all the switches, excuse me. Don't know how to play my own game. Okay. Get this. Beautiful. Maybe we could put a timer here. Also, I had another idea, by the way. If we're playing single player, then the camera just kind of always focuses on this player. But if you're playing in co-op, the camera focuses on the in-between point. And the problem with that is that the further the players apart, the closer they are to the edge of the screen, and you end up having this thing where one of the players is just playing in the highly distorted portion of the screen, so they're always looking at not the front view, but the affected view. Like, look at that blue character on the left, right? So that would be the other player, or technically both players would have to experience that because the camera picks a perfect place in between both of them. So I think what I can do is I can make it tone down the effect of this bend if the players are further away, based on their distance. Okay, so that's only 3. What the heck? Also, that doesn't... It's not supposed to turn on. Huh. Okay, so what gives? It's set to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, power indicator. Power indicator. Power indicator. Power indicator. Switch. Okay, that's weird. Let's take a look at this dude. So when it receives power, power indicator higher than receiving power. That doesn't make sense. Although, you know what? We have power count right here that is being printed. And let's call a function here. Power receive. Power. Need to bring the power on. Hoorah. What do we got? Power count. Let's try this again. Let's see which generators are not interacting with it correctly. Up. Okay, so power count is 0. Also, player 0 not touching ground. We need to get rid of that. Comment that out. No longer need this. Okay. Just gonna move this to the side so I can see the messages. And also There we go. Okay, I saw the pop-up, and it does say power count is 1. We no longer have the ability to go through these tiny tiles. And I'm pretty sure that's not intended. Let me quickly double check that. Something happened to the collision. Size. Okay, so the height is 64. I have to make 63 at least. Maybe 62. So it's even. Okay.
For fuck's...
Yeah. PG-13. PG-16, technically. Nice. Okay, let's take a look at that bottom generator since we have to go there. Okay, so it did account for 1. That's good. The chat has not advanced. No. I usually get some lurkers sitting around. They make themselves known when I say something exceptionally funny, so I guess I haven't said anything exceptionally funny in a while. Okay, that's 2. There we go. Let's be productive. That is the plan. Oh! Oh! What the heck? It just went down to 1. Okay, so the switch is the culprit here. So if I go here... Turn it up to... Oh! Oh no. Oh no. Dang it. Well, that's not good. The switch, when we interact with it, update power targets. So... Huh. How much would you recommend 3D modeling with a drawing tablet? I don't do too much 3D modeling with a drawing tablet until I get into, like, sculpting. Sculpting and texture making. So, you know, it's an all-around useful tool. Okay, so we have an issue. Our switch is sending power target toggles even when it isn't itself powered. And the problem is that it it causes the light counter to subtract non-existent power. So that's a problem. I think the switch needs to only update its own power or send the update if the state is different from the old one. Huh. I'm asking because you don't have a mouse. Get a mouse. It's like 15 bucks. If you're doing a lot of physical modeling, mechanical things, yeah, a mouse is a lot easier. What is this game? It's a story-driven 2D co-op platformer. Okay, so I guess what we need to do is maybe record the old state. There's an old toggle value. Do we use this? It has 3 places. 2, yeah, so it's being declared. And, huh. Hold on. This doesn't toggle anything, though. Does it? No, it's just a power switch. Because we decided to strip it of any sort of toggling ability because that's not its job. Its job is to handle power. So we can say switch only send this if the state has changed. So var old powered state. Let's do on ready. I don't know if this is going to work. I guess we'll see. On ready. And then the on power state will new power state. Huh. It will determine if it's new power state. If it's powered and switched on. That's what we need. Powered and switched on. And then here, if it wants to trigger something, but if old power state is the same as the current power state, which is switched on and powered, then return, because nothing has changed. Otherwise, old powered state would be set to the cumulative condition of powered, switch on and powered, and then we'll allow the rest of it to run. Do nothing if the overall state has not changed. This may or may not work. Let's see. Why don't you try to make a multiplayer game? Well, this is technically a multiplayer game. Or at least I'm considering putting in the online story. And Dreadtail is supposed to be multiplayer. Okay, but the multiplayer is more co-op based multiplayer, not like Half-Life Deathmatch or CSGO type multiplayer. Okay, so right now, nope, it still does it. Still subtracts. Gonna work on your 2D now? Sounds good, man. Okay. By the way, you don't have to feel like you have to start with 2D. If you want to make a 3D game, go make a 3D game. You know, start experimenting with that right away. You can have whatever entry point you want. Okay, so this doesn't work. If we switch it on, so when we interact with it, we play the animation, the switch on becomes true. But then this is true, and this is false because it's not powered. Okay. Well, if this is true and this is false, then the overall condition is false. And then it starts as switch on, which is false, powered, which is false, so it stays as false. Interesting. Maybe... Oh, I think I know why. We have to do this so that this and this is executed first, because otherwise it says if this is this and this is true. Yeah, okay. I think that should be fine though. Cool. It's like multiplications and divisions, additions and subtractions. If you want to add first, you gotta put it in the parentheses. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. Just Minecraft our way through here. And then I guess we can just do this. Nice. Okay. Here we go. That's looking good. Turn that on. Oh, can't clear that jump. And we're going down. Turn that on. And now the generator's all the way at the bottom. 3D vector math though. I don't know 3D vector math, and I'm doing just fine. I'm picking out on vector math just a little bit, one little bit at a time. You don't really need vector math for really simple stuff, because believe it or not, if you take a look at, let's say, global position, right, which is in 3D is just the same vector as vector 2D with one extra axis. If you look at the documentation of vector 3D in Godot, you will find like all sorts of really useful stuff. Like, vector 3. Okay, so vector 3 is a position in 3D space. Or also could be a direction. So you could be like, oh, well, okay, well, what does vector 3 do? You can get an angle to another position in space. You can, calculate the direction to another vector. So this gives you another vector 3 which shows you what direction it is. You can do distance between two positions, right? You can get the length, which is how far you are between the two vectors, which is kind of like a distance, but it represents it. I guess it kind of is pretty much like a distance, though. Oh yeah, length doesn't require a final position. It just says, okay, your character is moving in this direction at this kind of a speed. What is the speed? Well, the speed of the vector is the length of the vector, so you can use this. Lerp allows you to interpolate from one vector to another. So you do vector, like global position dot lerp dot, put the final position here, and then here you put a value between 0 and 1, or anywhere in between. So yeah, like this isn't vector math. These are just methods that you can call to execute whatever you want. So like you can get started with 3D and just like look at the docs and see, oh, well, that's like a really cool function I can use. And you know, while you're looking for the stuff that you do want to use, you also discover a bunch of stuff you didn't think existed. So yeah, but you know, it's up to you. You know, you can do a lot of fakery with like nodes and their positions and their angles instead of having to use vector math. Like nest one 3D node inside of another 3D node, rotate the first one, and then get the second one's like distance or position or something. Yeah. Okay. So I think that's it. I think we actually got it to work. Let me just see. Turn it off. Nice. Turn it on. Beautiful. So the switch is now not going to react. It's not going to send the signal unless there's a change in the state. So I'm just gonna navigate over here. Okay. Oh boy. That one-time soundtrack is done, so now it's just playing the ambience of this level. These tiles are messed up. Okay. Okay, that's almost all of them. Why is it not all of them? There's 5. Oh, right. There's one generator right here. Nice. Now we can open it. Beautiful. And we go here. Oh. Well. Didn't transfer us anywhere. Cool. Oh, right. Because this collision shape has changed. Woo. And then does it transfer us where we need it? I think so. Okay, I think I'll just go bypass that door. Boop. Nice. Transfer to the next level. Beautiful. Nice. It's like a little practice area. Hey, this is not supposed to be floating here. What's happening? Come on. Don't do this to me now. I did run the game, so it saved everything, but it's just sometimes this annoying loading stuff pops up. And are we crashed? Hope not. I think we are. Okay, we'll just give it a second. Actually, I know what we can do while it's in the middle of crashing. I'm just hoping it's not eating up memory as it is in the process of crashing. Doesn't seem like it. Although I can't switch to this while it is in the process of crashing. So I guess it wants my attention. Come on. What the heck is happening? Did my like display driver crash or something? Only had to happen when closing the engine. Well, I've only experienced this like twice, I think. But this seems like my computer problem because there's no way Godot would affect Krita. That makes no sense. All right. Fine. I'm gonna take a look at something here. Oh, hello. Oh boy. Oh boy. I can't open anything. There's no updates pending. Usually it's like Windows likes to sabotage my networking, likes to sabotage a bunch of random stuff. I can't do anything. Hold on a second. Can I do this? Nope. I can't even log out. All right. I'm just going to quickly push fixed power switches. Push to GitHub. Please tell me at least that's going to work. Push. Don't care. There we go. All right. I've got 92 CPU usage. Krita digital painting program is eating up all of my resources. I think that's what happened. I think Krita went haywire, and then caused Godot to not launch. Let's see. 19, 29, 30. Yeah, look at this shit. Okay, fine. I know what to do. We'll just do this. Whew. Was Krita opened when it happened? It was in the background. I just saw my CPU usage spike and like Krita was eating up all of it. Maybe I clicked a shortcut that created a new document and it was like thousands of pixels. I made the mistake of accidentally tapping in a few extra too many zeros. It was not a fun day. In other news, soon, very soon, I'll be able to... Oh, well, my second display just disconnected, but that's a pretty known factor. How can you hear you? How can you hear me? I stream and record on a secondary computer, specifically for these reasons. Because if my computer CPU usage spiked, there's no way OBS would still be able to stream. So I separate the job of streaming and recording from the job of, you know, actually doing dev. Saves me in cases like this. Okay, but now I can just reconnect my second display. Hold on a second. Come on. You know what I want. There we go. All right. Can we get back to work, please? Highly appreciate if we did. Okay, let's get a new file. This is gonna be ground. Let's do 64 by 64. Create it. Have this open up in the background. Right. Okay. See if we can pull this off. Ask again, how would you like to be addressed? Whatever you want. Mr. Canadian composer. It's fine. Whatever you want. Son of a bitch. It doesn't see my drawing tablet. Well, that requires a restart. Are we gonna make any more progress today? I sure hope so. Toot 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 toot. Toot 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 toot. Alright, come on. I want to make a bit more progress than what I did. That's for sure. Okay, so that was the top display disconnecting, which usually happens with a new setup. The drawing tablet requiring restarting. This is a Huon tablet plus monitor. It's a Canvas 22. Son of a bitch. There we go. Okay. Can you see it now? Yes, you can. Beautiful. My God. I don't know what's with technology. This computer sometimes like start Windows, monitor doesn't get detected. I gotta physically go in the back of the computer, which thankfully I don't put it on the floor. I have it on the shelf, and I have to hunt around for the HDMI cable, disconnect it, reconnect it, and then it sees the second monitor. Most of the time, I have to do resolution because the shortcut with like what is it, Shift Windows D or something? It's supposed to restart the graphics driver, doesn't make it detect the driver. The second monitor. So I have to click here and then spam this detect button like 15 times, and then one of those times it's gonna say, okay, fine, I'll check for your hardware. Oh, there is a monitor here. Sorry, yeah, let me just reconnect. My bad, bro. Um, Annoying stuff like this. Um, and then once in a while the whoop failed to load script. Parse error. The shit you are. I did the batch renaming on these scripts. What the hell are you talking about? Scripted events, exploding light, scripted sound trigger, parse error. Oh, these are, I don't think these are fatal errors. What do we have? Trigger dialog, trigger particle. Okay. Trigger particle GD. Ah, that's a bit of an issue. Process. Okay, so these are scripts that self-triggered. I did not account for those. That is a bit of a whoopsie. So if they self-trigger, then they just need to run this, and then self is supplied as the first parameter. Now what do we have here? Director. Trigger particles. Director is not a thing anymore. Yeah, we don't have a director. Dialog layer. Yeah, we got rid of director. That's not a thing. So what? It doesn't detect that it's being used anywhere, so I think this might just be like an old thing. Detect quest, detect stage, detect subtitle. I don't remember what the hell this was doing, but this doesn't look like something that we're using anymore. How could they self-trigger? Well, it's checking constantly for a series of conditions, I suppose, and then triggers itself to be emitting. This also could be a really old script, because I'm not using the director anymore. It was like a custom node that I made for handling dialogues. Player count trigger. Player count trigger looks like, yeah, it's just an empty node. And then check for trigger. Damn it. Son of a, I didn't do a check, a match case check when I did that script replacement. So, whoopsie. Okay. All right, that's fine. I guess that's what I'm doing. Panel 64. Trigger. Toggle, and it triggers itself. Right, so some things, when we toggle them, it just kind of triggers. I guess we want to keep the structure. The trigger and the toggle kind of work the same way. So, right, fair enough. Suspended generator. That's a really old one. I don't think we're using a suspended generator like anywhere. Self platform director. Are we using director here too? We are. Yeah, you know what? These are like really old scripts. Failed to load script. Suspend the generator. Collapsing elevator. We don't have that anymore. Although we might reuse it. What does collapsing elevator do? Oh, they're all talking to director. Whew. Okay. Explosion light. Scripted sound trigger. Trigger dialogue. Trigger dialogue does sound important. Okay. Yeah, I should have done like a case check. Director play stage. That's not a thing. Go away. Trigger particle. It's curious that it's only now giving me these issues. Director also being used here. Trigger path follower. Trigger path follower is going to be reused for sure. We're just not going to be using the director for this stuff anymore. Trigger self. We don't need this though. If used, current quest, there's no director. So, you know what? This is from a really old quest system. So I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to comment this out. That's fine. Trigger particles. I think we've already looked at that. Oh, yes. I'm just going to comment this out like this. Or, you know what? You know what? Since we don't use the director and this entire system was based on the director, maybe we should just nuke all the scripts that relied on it. Player count trigger. What do we have here? Level mechanics. Player count trigger. This one's fine because this is used for, I think, for the teleportation device in the introductory cutscene or introductory level for the early access for this quest. So player count trigger can stay. Panel 64. What is this for? Panel 64. Okay, so this is rigid fake rigid drop panel 64. Let's call it that. Rigid drop panel 64. Okay, rigid drop panel 64. Freeze true. We don't have to touch that. Because in the level that we're working on right now, or the starting level of this quest, some of the panels are obscuring some of the mechanics, and they'll just drop off and reveal it. Okay, suspended generator. This can go nuke itself. That's fine. We have the Git repository if we need it again. So collapsing elevator. We can. Yeah, it's gonna complain every time we open it. So we're just gonna comment that out. That's fine. We might reuse it. We just need to reprogram it. Mode. Oh God. Causes to be mode rigid. I guess this is freeze false. Sure. Okay. Explosion light. This is the new way of like making rigid bodies stop and run by freezing and unfreezing them. Explosion light. I don't know what this is, so bye-bye. Scripted sound trigger. Uses director, so bye-bye. Trigger dialogue. This one, I think, yeah. This one's good, because this one uses the new system. the new dialogue system. So this one's fine. Assignment not allowed inside of expression. This is line 18. Yeah, we've already fixed that. Okay. Trigger dialogue. Trigger particle. Trigger particle. Used to rely on director. Right. This thing must have been assigned to something. I guess we're going to see what it is when it complains. Trigger particle, trigger path follower. This one I think we'll keep because it's supposed to cause a character to play some sort of an animation. Best of luck nuking scripts. Thanks. Appreciate it. Trigger path follower, suspended generator. I think we already got rid of that. Yes. Okay. Cool. Clear. That's good. And now, well, now we have it up and running, but now we only have 30 minutes left. Player count. All right, let me just try this. Quit the project list. Save. Save. Oh no, it's saving the scripts again. Don't save. All of those scripts that that I just deleted, or at least like 2 or 3 of them, I just brought them right back. Because it's like, yo man, you have the script open. I don't find it. You want to save it? Yep. Okay, cannot get path of node. It's not in the scene tree. Interesting. I suppose we'll deal with that after. Okay. And that's it. This project uses meshes in outdated mesh format from previous Godot versions. The engine needs to update format. Please use Upgrade Mesh Surface tool in the Project Tools menu. You can ignore this message to keep using outdated meshes, but keep in mind that this leads to increased load times every time you load the project. Cool. All right, we'll ignore that for the time being. Right. Let's get some dirt. Okay. Nice. So we're looking for dirt, soil, not too saturated. Oh. No grow. Okay. Hey. Hey, yourself. It's me again. Okay, that's the tile. Now. I don't know if this is going to look good, but I suppose we'll find out in a moment. cool game. Hopefully, eventually, you know, working hard on it. Okay, because it's a separate layer, we can always adjust it. But let's do something about... Damn it. This is... Oh yeah. I need this to be a separate layer. So I'm just going to grab the brush, sample the color, get rid of it from here, and then isolate, fill. There we go. Nice. So now I can take layer style, outer glow. Okay, we're going to reduce it to like 2 pixels. Nice. This is going to be set to normal. I guess multiply is fine. Let's give it a brownish color. Beautiful. And then we're going to introduce a bit of noise so it's not super plain. And also tone it down a bit. Cool. Nice. Now, I'm going to launch Tile Setter because we're going to save this and then turn it into a set of tiles, 128 piece tile, I think, or 48 piece tile, whatever the number is. All right, nice. I'm going to save this. So assets, tiles, and let's save it. So this is ground tile. Nice. This is going to be 64 pixels. Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted 2. What the heck? Help Wanted 2? They already made a sequel? Damn. I gotta say, the DLC for Help Wanted. Wait, hold on. Is it Help Wanted? What was the... I guess I think Help Wanted was... What's the last one that was a flop that took place in this giant pizzeria conglomerate place? That game was all over the place. Okay. PNG. Oh yeah, it needs a pung file. Control. Oh, don't. Careful. Don't merge anything. So Control Shift T. This is gonna be a pung file. Assets tiles. Nice. Okay. There's the pung file. And then for this pung file to work, we're going to right click and then create the blob type tile. Nice. Next thing we gotta do is set the tops. Okay, so the tops, I think the tops will be displayed on top as an overlay, hopefully. Let's do base. That's the base tile, make a new layer. And then this is gonna be kind of a desaturated type look. Ooh, hello. That is some mighty strange behavior. What? Oh, difference. Excuse me. I accidentally changed the brush to a difference brush. All right. Here we go. That's good. We're going to need to advance the color a little bit. May or may not have to make a custom brush for this. Hold on. Do I not have... I have a leaf brush here. Could I use this? Okay. There we go. Let's bring this out. I don't think this I don't think this is gonna work. Maybe. Okay. That's cool and all. Let's try exporting this. No background. Okay, so ground tile. Tops. Top. Alright. I'm gonna take this opportunity to place the tiles to the left. And then we're gonna take this tile and say this is the tile you need to use as a top. Now, I'm not a huge fan of this whole edge thing that happens here, to be honest. Because it's like a perfect 45-degree angle. It doesn't look good. Now, what can we do to fix that? I suppose we need some sort of a corner. It needs to know what happens on the side as well. Maybe what we can do is take this, and then we can do some sort of like a drop-off thing right here. So it's like an edge. And then maybe go darker, redder, and do something like this. Let's do left. Whoops. Ground tile, left. Which, to be honest, let's place this at the top. And do that. Save it up. Import left. And we'll take the left and sample it from here. But it's rotating it, and I don't want to rotate it. Oh, excuse me. You know what? That's the corner piece. So, And I think we might have hit an issue here, because it is going to automatically create one based on this tile. And that is an issue, because it's not going to look good. It might look acceptable, but not good. Okay. No. Okay, and then we'll take this, sample it. It's not supposed to be rotated. There we go. Okay. And then, yep, that is exactly what I figured was going to happen. Left cut. This is where you can like increase the number of pixels it cuts off. Composite. Okay. Maybe I overestimated the overall usefulness of this application. That does not look good. Up cutoff, left cutoff. Whoops. Okay, I don't think I can use this one. It doesn't have a flipping. Oh, no, it does have a flipping feature. So don't rotate. Yeah, but that doesn't match. Okay, fine. Make a new one. New layer. Grab this color. Although maybe we should make it a bit more dynamic. Kind of like this. All right. So take that. This would be left. This would be right. Okay. It really needs some sort of a third layer overlay for these corners. Because it just asks for, whoops, it just asks for like which two tiles is going to be compositing. But what does it want? Does it want the top? It wants the top with the left edge. And we have no way of supplying the left composite. Huh. Hmm. Are we going to have to go back to using an auto tile template? Because I have a feeling that we might have to go back to using an auto tile template. Huh. Interesting. Hmm. And of course, this is one of those tools that is like a one-time single-purpose abandonware tools, isn't it? Tile setter. December 18th, 2021 major update. And yeah, and we're in 2024 now. Future features. Yep, it's an abandoned project. Huh. Lots of work for the next release 3.0. Total rewrite. Okay, so they're working on it, but yeah. Okay. Interesting. We have a template that we can technically use. Okay. Tile set template. How's it going? It's going. It's going well enough. Okay, here we go. So this is one tile. So I think that this is actually the one that I've been using. Okay. Resulting in a sheet of 8x8 tiles. The white ones are duplicates. But yeah, this looks like a pretty damn good layout. And we can use it as as a reference for setting up our tiles. Just paint on top of it. Maybe even create some sort of a auto tile mask. Let's save this. This is gonna go to what? Artag Rise, Assets, Tiles. We're just gonna save it here. Cool beans. So realistically, what do we have here? Center tile, 4 sides, and 1 corner. Or 4 corners, technically. So we can technically build our own auto tile template. Like a dynamic one, where we just supply the 4 corners and 4 sides and the center tile. And that's it. Let's see. 512 by 512. And then maybe some sort of a mask or something to be used as a mask. Okay. You know what? I think we'll wrap it up here. Continue in the next one. We might have time closer to evening to get something done. And that should be good. Hope you guys enjoyed and hope to continue next time and hope you learned something. Because I am out of time. I guess we'll get it up and running next time. Cool.